Good afternoon, Minister Brian Bordley. Today, you're on a vessel that we were able to procure through a couple different grants. Currently, right now, we've got 5 passengers on board, teaching them how to fish, teaching them different ways to rig bait, showing them all the wonderful ways to de-stress, relaxation, how to deal with getting away from work, from everything to dealing with PTSD on the water. We found out, dealing with a model of warriors on the water, that being on the water desensitizes PTSD triggers. And in Baltimore City, we find that our kids have so much sensitivity to violence, anger, problems with conflict management, that being on the water teaches them something amazing. It helps to, one, make sure that they're tired when they go home, so they sleep. PTSD patients have insomnia. So being on the water and dealing with the cardiac rhythm of the water helps to make you more relaxed, to put you to bed. Secondly, there's always the chore on the boat to do. Somebody's got to help with the fishing rod. Somebody's got to help with mooring the lines to the dock. Outside of that, learning how to fish, how to put the lines together, how to gather bait, how to catch little white perch that's in a live well, and then turn around and
You guys work at the school?
No, I'm volunteering.
Oh, thank you. Bless your hearts. Minister Gordon?
yeah.
Ah, Yolanda.
Hey, Mister.
I know. I'm going to hug you.
I know.
Hi there.
This is Miss
You going
Jaleesa.
kayaking? Can y'all please sign me up? That's like one of my favorites.
The goal of this program was, one, to give kids a different outlook on various occupations around the marine and agricultural side of national resources. The second focus was to instill a level of some self-confidence, allowing them to see troubles and problems and learning how to navigate through and push through, so that they just didn't become so entitled they forget you've got to have some problem-solving skill sets. That's a life skill that is necessary even as we're adults. You're always having to think through different problems and always having to understand how to process and get through. The third part I wanted to do was teach people how to fish. The biblical quote says, if you teach a man how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. In this way, they can learn how to have a rod and a reel and a hook and a sinker and catch something to eat. One of the components of this program is they're going to learn how to fillet a fish, catch a fish, cook a fish. Can't do all of that right now since I'm driving, but that's part of it as well.
What about the kayaking part of the program?
So they have access to kayaks and stand-up paddle boards, which gives everybody an individual smaller boat vessel that they can get on in the back cove, which is where we're at located, and be able to just wander off and just have some fun on your own. I found out when you give girls a peace of mind and take them away from Baltimore City, they're able just to kind of be young girls, learn how to empower themselves, learn how to get over fears of being in the water that so many of our children have in Baltimore City. We're surrounded by water, but nobody ever made resources available for them to get over some of those fears. How to swim, how to be on a boat, how to be on a kayak, how to just do a stand-up paddleboard. And there's so much nature out here, from the ducks to the osprey to the various fisheries that's out here, that we're just trying to educate these kids so that they can see. here you have, as we come up, somebody on a stand-up paddleboard. And that's what they would be doing. She should probably have a leash around her ankle that allows her to get back on the board if she should happen to fall off. She should be wearing a life preserver just in case. But this is what my kids are trying to learn how to do. Just stand up and paddle. It's an unbelievable experience. And if we had the time, I'd get close enough to her so she could explain. Let's see if she got a minute. Excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a minute? I got a program teaching young black girls why stand-up paddleboard is nice. Can you tell them how much fun you're having?
I do this every weekend. It is literally the only thing I look forward to on my weekends. Not just me, but everybody in my office does it.
Any special technique to this?
You go along the spine, which is there, and then we're cutting away from the spine. And if you do it right, you get a nice little fillet without the hitting the organs.
Yeah, you taking a video?
And that's the whole idea, is not to hit the organs.
What happens if you hit the organs?
That means you got more to clean. That's your little fillet.
Do they bleed out or something?
Well, he would have bled out a little bit more had we waited. Now I'm separating the meat from the skin. Holding the knife at a 45-degree angle allows us to get a nice pretty fillet. And because this is channel cat, once you take them home, we're going to soak them in some milk. Buttermilk is preferable, but if you don't have just regular milk, that lactic acid helps to take some of the sulfur, because these are bottom feeding fish. Helps to take some of that out, the gaminess, the wildness.
And how long should I soak it?
Well, it's a tender. That's all you got.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, we're just bleeding them out.